Oh, shoot.
And down to the 5-yard line, finally tackled by the defense. He was wide open in the flat, and they were able to get the ball to him.
Luckily, the Bulldogs are now in striking distance to score a touchdown.
Yes, they are, Andrew. It's first and goal from the 5, and they can get the tying touchdown. And let's tie this baby up. Tim Meyer.
Hey, is this Tim Meyer?
I said Tim Meyer.
Sweet. Hey, is the Mitt TV broadcasting the game tonight?
Yeah, we're broadcasting the game tonight, kid.
Tim, we're live!
Yeah, I was just wondering if you knew how to watch the game live.
Sure, I know how you can watch the game live. You got your phone on you?
Yeah.
Well, listen to this. The Mitt TV broadcast Romeo High School sporting events live so you don't have to miss a minute of the action. Just download the YouTube app on your smartphone or television. Type @ the Mitt TV in the search bar. Click on our channel, then the Live tab to find all previous and upcoming live events, including sports. And don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, thanks, Tim. I really owe you. Sick.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this exciting TV broadcast. We'll see you tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that, because that's the way we broadcast news, and that's the way you consume entertainment. Won't change anytime soon. For the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer. Tim Meyer.
You, Tim Meyer.
I said Tim Meyer.
They said you were coming.
Is what they say true?
See for yourself.
What's this?
They call it a podcast studio.
What the heck's a podcast studio?
It's a studio for podcasting. Superior sound, visuals, allowing the viewer to either watch or listen for an intimate experience of long-form content.
Long-form content?
Without any restrictions from any cable or network provider, there's no telling how long it can be.
Is it affordable?
You have no idea.
What's he doing?
Found him here in the studio. Recent college graduate trying to start a podcast with his friends after debating the existence of God and women's sports.
How come I can't hear him?
Stephenville's is spying us through the intergalactic satellite system. Also buy my merch with my special creator code.
How long before this becomes accessible?
It already has.
If you or someone you know is looking to start a podcast for business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. With hourly rates starting as low as $1.60 an hour, the Mitt TV grants access to state-of-the-art podcast studio, allowing you to record perfect audio, amazing video for your audience. Contact the Mitt TV today at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Job stinks.
is 7 o'clock. I think we are,
I'll give you 10.
are we ready? All right, it is Thursday, January 8th, 2026. This is the Village of Romeo Planning Commission meeting. It is 7 p.m. We'll call the meeting to order, and we'll do Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Fowler,
Here.
Grandstaff,
Here?
Hale,
Here.
Hall. Here. Steggy,
Here.
Bill Parker,
Yes.
Justin Parker,
Present.
Mellon,
Here.
Webb.
Here.
Thank you. Before we do approval of the minutes, I just wanted to welcome Robert Segi to our
Thank
planning
you.
commission. Thank you for being here and offering your time. We appreciate that. All right, approval of the minutes from the December 11th, 2025 meeting.
So moved. Support.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we have approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Support.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we have public comment. I'm sorry, bear with me here. I have something I'm supposed to share with you. Hold on. It's technology. Okay, before we open the floor for public comment, I just wanted to mention President Poznansky asked me to share with everyone here that on the January 26th Village of Romeo Board of Trustees meeting, they will be discussing data center as an agenda item with the intention of discussing encompassing not only the 32-mile Washington Township proposed development. They have a resolution presented by a trustee, and she is asking if there are any residents that would like to offer comment or attend. If you can attend the meeting and speak during public comment, she can also be reached at the village's phone number, or you can email president@villageofromeo.org if there's any written communication that you would like to include regarding that agenda item. Okay. Having said that, if there is anyone here, public comment. Oh, he had his own agenda item. He's very good.
I guess the only public comment I got is that I see Parker's getting to be an interesting name. That's my middle name, so it's interesting to see.
Then we got,
Very well known around town.
we have two.
They've been here in town a long time.
Okay, ex officio report.
Nothing really to report. We did look at or we didn't look, there was a discussion about the fencing ordinance, not making it back yet, but it didn't get onto the agenda. And that was it. There was a discussion, but nothing was, because it never made it onto the agenda. So
Okay,
that's it.
sounds good. Thank you.
Are you saying it didn't make it on the Board of Trustees agenda?
No,
or-
yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
So it's just kind of floating out there?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Okay. All right, ZBA representative report. You guys didn't meet last month, did you?
We did not.
Yes. So you'll,
Nothing to report.
easy enough. Thank you. All right, that brings us to our tree board presentation. Here we go.
My name's Clarke Stough. I live at 380 Brook Drive in Romeo. You can sit back and relax. I'm not here to complain or do anything. I'm here to tell you a short story and to give you some information. Lived in Michigan a lot. My kids moved out to Arizona, and I we moved with them. And then we were out there for 12 years, and I got involved in quite a few projects out there. One of the major ones was that the city of Phoenix developed a plan to plant trees in the city of Phoenix, with the idea in mind that they would have, over a period of years, 25% of the city would be covered in trees. And I got actively involved in that until my wife came to me one day and said, I'm moving back to Michigan with or without you. And so I moved back to Michigan, being a smart individual, knowing I had a gold mine. So I followed her here. And when I got here, I had an opportunity to read the master plan, or whatever, the 5-year plan, or whatever it is you have here. And excuse me for not knowing the exact title, but I was caught by a comment in there that said, and during some of my research, said that Romeo has lost 30 to 40% of its trees over the last several years. That kind of blew me away a little bit. And then I had an opportunity to join the tree board, and I thought, well, you know, I know a little bit about trees, and so I joined the tree board. And while I've been on the tree board, we've accomplished, I'd say 3 major things. One of them is that we present or put on an Arbor Day festival where we try to educate kids and the general public regarding trees. The other thing that was one of our major accomplishments, we updated our ordinances and made sure we have a comment in there that the tree board is now responsible for all the trees in Romeo, public trees, not the private ones. We might have some influence on the private ones if a project comes before the planning commission and you have an opportunity to look at it and there's going to be trees involved in it, then we probably should get involved in some way to make sure that if they're going to put any trees on it, that they're on our list of approved trees. Other than that, we don't want to get involved in all of that. Another major project we did was we inventoried all the trees in Romeo, a computerized inventory. So if you want to know about any trees in any street, if it's a public, we have an inventory. What we did is that we applied for a grant, $20,000, and we had Davie Tree Service, along with the DNR, help us do an inventory. And what I mean is it's a detailed inventory. So we can tell you on what street, what type of tree it is, approximately how old it is, and what the condition is on it. And that's going to help us tremendously, because when somebody comes along, whoever it may be, and say, I want to cut down a tree because it's dead, they have to come to us before that can get done. But we take that information. That information, by the way, if can flow through Sarah right here that sits here. That's because she's our secretary also, and she can make sure it gets on our agenda to take a look at. But say a specific tree comes up and somebody wants to cut it down because it's dead or something, what we do is we have an agreement with Davie Tree Service that we call them up and say, hey, we got this tree in the inventory, and even though it says it's in good condition, what we want you to do is send your arborist out, and we take a look at that tree, and he gives us a report, and we say, yeah, it's kind of dying, but instead of cutting it down based on their recommendation, maybe we can do something to it to extend its life for 3 or 4 or 5 years. So we'll spend the the money, which, you know, could be $1,600 versus $3,000, cutting it down to extend the life on that tree. And that adds up a lot to trees here, because, you know, our older trees, if you drive down Church Street or whatever it is, you know, that's a beautiful street. And to cut down a tree just because a homeowner says it drops sap on my car is not, you know, not justification for doing that. And so now we're involved in that, and hopefully we'll be able to, you know, stop, you know, just arbitrarily cutting down trees, because you know, we had an incident on one of our streets, Bailey, somebody called up and said that a couple of trees are bad, so, you know, you send out a tree guy, and, you know, his solution to anything like that is, well, let's cut it down. So they cut down 6 or 7 trees. I mean, they've been around 20 years. You know, that's a shame. Because in our ordinance, we have a policy in there that says R&R. You know, it's like everything else, remove and replace. So if we took a tree down, we're going to make sure over a period of time that we replace it. You know, we might miss 1 or 2, but we're not going to miss, hopefully we won't miss many. And for instance, during this inventory, we've come up with a list. We got 92 trees that are in bad shape in Romeo that we're going to have to, you know, take a look at over the next couple of years. When you look at 92, and if it costs you $3,000 or $4,000 to cut a tree down, you know, that's not chump change. So you know, we're going to be actively involved in, you know, looking at those trees and making sure that our last resort is that we cut them down. And that, you know, that's the only reason I came here, or our committee said, let's go around to all the other committees and just talk a little bit about trees. But for your information, at the next Board of Trustees meeting, we have an arborist. Joe Young's going to come out and talk about, and he's a local that's gone on to work at Michigan State University, and he's an arborist because we want to make sure that the easement, which is the part between the street and the curb, or a sidewalk, that we can plant trees in there, because there's been a kind of unwritten policy over the last few years that you know, we can't put trees in there, but yes, you can. And he's going to give us some information and to the public and to the trustees that are going to show that yes, we can, because we've also gone out to some of the local nurseries, and there are specific kind of trees that you can plant in those areas. You know, it's like we have trees in downtown Romeo. You got 33 of them, and we just spent $6,000 trimming them. So this year, those trees should look good, because they've all been trimmed up. And but heaven's sake, we don't want to lose those trees, and those trees are kind of in an easement. So in not all cases can you plant a tree in an easement, because there might be, you know, power lines underneath them that might cause a problem. But we're going to try to save as many and replace some of the trees that have been taken down over the years. And with that being said, thank you very much for giving me the privilege of talking to you.
Thank you. I have a question. So the trees that are in the easement that are the village trees, if a homeowner decides they want to remove that tree, it's written in your ordinance that they need to contact the village? Is that something, I mean, is that in place, or how does that work? Like, if a homeowner says, I just want this tree gone, like, they could, like, how do we avoid people just cutting those trees?
Well, because there's an ordinance that says that those trees belong to the village of Romeo.
Right, so.
But there have been situations, because you can drive down any street and see where a tree's been removed, and all of a sudden you got this 25 or a quarter-inch tree that somebody stuck in there. That, but so they have cut them down. But by making you know, various people aware, including yourselves, if you see somebody just arbitrarily trying to cut a tree down, you gotta try to stop it, because, you know, they don't have the authority to do that.
Right. So they're asked to contact the village office. That, I guess that's the
Yes.
procedure to do.
The
If they
answer-
have
the
two
short
or
answer
one
to that
they
question
need to
is yes.
contact
Yes.
The office. And,
Right.
Okay, that,
Yeah, and your easiest vehicle is sitting right here, so.
right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
If a homeowner wants to cut a tree down, are you saying that the tree board has the power to stop that?
Pardon me? Yes.
If,
Depending on the circumstances.
A public tree.
A public tree,
but not a private tree?
not a private tree, not a
Okay.
private tree. But, you know, we, during our Arbor Day Festival, you know, we pass out trees that they can plant on their property. And in a lot of situations, because, you know, we're not that hard-nosed, if a homeowner says, hey, I want to cut this tree down, they come to us, we'll ask our arborist to go out there and look at this tree and say, hey, wait a minute, you may want to do this and do that to it. You know, give him a second opinion. Because we're trying to, you know, because we're all family here, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, that brings us to new business. We have, in your package was a draft of the parking, or payment in lieu of parking ordinance. All right. So what my understanding is, I gathered my little information today, is that we need to approve the draft. The public hearing needs to be held, so we have to approve this tonight, so that way it can get put on the February agenda for a public hearing, is what we need to do with this. So if you look at your draft ordinance here, it is that section 46-314, the area height and placement requirements subsection 3 is hereby amended to add subparagraph C stating the following: that payment in lieu of parking, the use of a payment in lieu of parking for residential uses permitted in the central business district is hereby prohibited. Okay, so this is saying that, that the residential, homes, right, that they can't use that in lieu of. Or not residential homes, but,
Homes or
Any residential
yes,
use.
any residential uses, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Any residential unit?
use.
Correct.
Yeah.
That-
So you need a motion on this?
Well, see, I'm gonna question, and I think I've questioned this at the council meeting before it came to us. I don't think we can approve this before a public hearing. I think the public hearing needs to happen first before we can approve. We can make recommendation to approve. That's my thought. I mean, I was,
Right.
We essentially need a final draft. So if you are approving this as the final, then that's what I can send out to the public for a public hearing to be
Yeah.
made. And then at that point, you can make a motion to whether approve or deny.
yeah,
Right.
we can't actually approve this ordinance tonight.
We can't
Without-
recommend sending it up, no.
No, we're not sending it up. We just need to look at this, look at the verbiage on it, and decide if we are good with this or if they need to change this. Because we can't move forward with that public hearing until we do that.
I'm good with it.
Is that a motion?
She said we can't make a motion.
We can make a motion to
have to
approve the
make-
draft.
Not to
Yeah,
approve
the
it.
draft.
I motion to
Draft,
approve the
language of
draft.
the draft, how's that?
I motion to approve the draft.
Okay.
Can we just include the ordinance, the draft of ordinance, and the number in that motion?
I'm sorry?
Can that motion be to approve the draft of ordinance number 482?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Motion to approve the draft, the ordinance number 482.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, there we go, Sarah. That gets you what you need, right? Okay.
They can do their thing.
All right, so that brings us to old business, the short-term rental updated draft review. So in December, we went through that list that was based off of the Board of Trustees' recommendations of what they wanted to see added to it. We went through those items and removed a few things, changed a couple things around, and the planner has provided us with a revised copy of that, which was in your packet. So I think open this over here. Okay. Is there anyone that had any?
I've had some, I've read this thing several times, and I had some questions or suggestions. And if we go page 2 of 2, where it says owner occupied short-term rental dwelling unit offered for rent, that is the property owner's primary residence, period, then it says one room may be rented to a customer. This would preclude someone from renting 2 rooms, and that seems ludicrous to me. I think it should be 1 or more. Justin, I think you had some questions on that, and I also then thought you could put in the words may be rented to, and then you could insert the word single, and it would achieve what we didn't want a small hotel going there with multiple, being a small B&B. So I think if we could insert the word single before or after the A and before the word customer in line 2. And I think it should be 1 or more rooms may be rented to a single customer.
Top one, okay.
And that would achieve, I think, what we're trying to do or say. Otherwise, you say, there is a single room in a house that may be rented.
I understand what you're saying, but changing the wording of the rooms, right, you also have to consider then 1 room or multiple rooms. Then are we saying that that person could have a, let's say, 10-bedroom house, they're living there in 1 room, and then, let me finish, and then they have 8 separate guests renting individual rooms?
No, we're saying to a single customer.
Okay. As long as-
And the reality is when we get down here a little bit further, we've limited the areas where this may actually happen, and said specifically, it cannot happen, and I want to insert the word only in here a little bit further on down. It can only be permitted in the RM. I think we should add in the MH and then the words O and CBD district, because MH is actually a separate district. By using the word only there, we're showing the fact that we've thought about it, and it's not an accidental, we missed residential.
Permitted.
We're saying, so I think we should, it would be in the last line of that first paragraph after proposed short-term rental. I think STRs are permitted, and I think we should put the word only in the approved residential units in the RM. I think we have to add in there MH, O, and CBD districts. Now, Justin, I know you're concerned that there might be a 10-bedroom house in one of these districts, but I sure as hell don't know where it is. There's what, 4 or 6 unit next to you.
There's pretty close next door to me.
Yeah, but that's what, 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms?
I think there's
4.
8.
No, I don't think so. But the single customer can rent these things.
Yeah.
And so that,
And I actually
then
didn't
we would
think
go
about
back
that
up to
one.
the second line where it says, I just don't like the 1 room may be rented to a customer while the owner lives there. I mean, you're saying someone with 2 kids can't rent a room for himself and his kids. That's crazy.
But add in single customer.
Okay. All right, so just for clarification, he's at the very top of that page 2, where it says owner occupied short-term rental. It's in the definition, is what he's looking for clarification. It would be the second sentence, where it says 1 room. So you're looking to put 1 or more rooms? Is that what you want in there, or? or,
Yeah, I can live with two, one or more, or one or two rooms may be rented to a single
to
customer.
a single customer.
Yeah, and we'd have to insert the word the word single in there, so that we don't have a small hotel or a small B&B, and they're only dealing with one person, and we're saying that they can have two rooms may be rented.
I see what you're saying.
Right here, Bill.
Yeah, I'm,
This is what I'm saying. This is where I'm babbling. Yeah,
Again?
I'm
Okay.
babbling again,
Uh-huh.
yeah, okay.
Right?
Okay, and then moving on down to the should propose short-term rental ordinance, on the second line, at the last word should be changed to the word unit from home. If you're gonna be consistent and we otherwise refer to these things as units, period, then we're not gonna suddenly start throwing the word home in there.
Okay. Then
So-
it is also in that top paragraph as well. It does say the entire home. So we'd have to change it
You're
across the
right,
board.
and I
is what you're
missed
saying.
that.
Where you're saying, one or two rooms may be rented to a single customer while the owner lives there, or the entire home while they are away.
We'll change it unit. That should be, you're right, it should be changed to the word unit. What do you think about something like Peyton Manor? Do you define that as a home or as a unit?
It's a home, right?
It's not a house, but it is a home.
It's not a house. If I'm going home, right, it can be defined as several things.
I would rather use the word residence than home anytime,
Right.
Okay,
but I understand what you're saying with the word unit,
Entire residence,
yeah. Should never use home, though.
because in unit, you could then be like, oh, well, I got a outbuilding.
no, we've said you can't use the outbuilding.
You can't use
We're
secondary
specific
structures.
about that,
Yeah.
Justin.
I like residents better
Yeah,
though
I'm
than
saying
units.
Yeah, you could-
I like
you
residents
Can
too.
we do that?
Yes.
Let's-
Somebody
So-
could say their outbuilding is their home if they wanted to.
Right.
I think is what.
Well,
what
no,
the-
we're saying
what
they
they're
can't.
getting
Yeah, because
at.
you're.
Right, I think the word residence would be probably better used here.
all right.
So we would change the word home in both situations to the word residence? Okay. And we're gonna insert the word only after the STRs are permitted only in approved residential units in the, I did point out earlier, Madam Chairperson, that the MH is a separate district in and of itself.
The mobile home district, is that
Yep.
what we're talking about? So that
Yep.
would,
Yeah.
there's only one of those in the village, correct?
Correct.
There is. I don't think it needs to be there, but I would just say, the only reason,
I mean, they may have rules about subletting them anyway.
Yeah.
I
right?
understand what you're saying.
The owner runs, in all those situations where you have them, what's called a mobile home park, even though they're no longer mobile, the owner is the one who's running the show there, period. Everybody knows that, if you know anything about them.
I would just say to not put that in there, because it does say in under mobile home park, that 10.01, it says all principal and special land use is permitted and as regulated in the RM multiple family district and R1 single family residential. So it's only because it, right?
It
Because
falls into the R1.
It falls under, right, it's saying that the guidance is the R1 and the multiple, but if we're saying it's not allowed in R1, and they're using R1 as their, then,
I mean, they can't be. It's
then
too
it
bad.
couldn't, I would just say that's just not to put that in there, that would be I'm okay with the word only in there, saying that they're only permitted in the RM, O, and the CBD, but
Okay.
In that paragraph too, Bill,
Yeah.
where we changed the entire home to residence, right before that, it talks again about renting a room, a single room, where you wanted to change that also? Renting a room while the owner is present?
Renting, take out the
Can you
word
do just
renting
S
a or rooms, take out the A and you would put an S on the word rooms.
Room or rooms?
Room or rooms, I don't care.
Yeah.
Put the S in the
Put the
apostrophe.
S, yeah, S apostrophe, yep.
Or some, not parentheses, sorry.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about.
The only other objection was in the, going down to 2, where it says consent to inspections with reasonable notice. And, I don't know who's gonna define the word reasonable, but you've gotta put something in there besides the word reasonable, I think. Now, Justin does not, I know, because we just had our little heated spat over this. You can't, when you use the word reasonable, what's reasonable?
Yeah, it's a blanketed statement.
It's just too vague. I think if you put in there within, 4
72
business
hours.
days, or,
Yeah, let's go ahead.
I don't care. I mean, you gotta put, the word reasonable defeats the ordinance.
I think reasonable is gonna be based on situation, and my suggestion is leave that to legal to determine that on a case by case if needed.
You heard what I had to say, you heard what he had to say.
You could say within reasonable, but no more than.
Or no less than?
Well, you could say, but no more than. Consent to within a reasonable amount of time, right? But no more than a week, month. It has to be done within a period.
7 calendar, 5
Right.
calendar.
It has to be.
14
Because
calendar days.
Yeah.
If you're not in this state or not in this country, reasonable means something different than you.
Yeah,
to you.
but if you're not in the state of this country, how are you running it out?
Yeah, we usually have
And
proper
someone's gonna have
manager.
easy access to get in and out, so
I mean,
that's,
if
that
somebody went-
reasonable is.
So a week?
I'd say a week.
I'm gonna disagree with.
I would
putting
propose
any-
14 days.
I'm gonna
No,
100% disagree.
that's, then you're getting into, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, that's just,
Depends
maybe you
on-
wanna leave it at reasonable and let it get fought out in court. I don't know, but that is an open, pardon me, let me take this to court. And/or to the village council. If it goes to the village council, then it gets moved to a circuit court.
And then it gets prolonged anyways.
So how about 10 business days?
I was gonna say, I would do 10 business days is what I was gonna suggest.
10
10 business
Most people
days?
can manage
10
things
business
within 2
days
weeks.
works for me.
All right.
Isn't it the same as 14 days?
We're trying to give an outside limit.
Bill, when you rented spaces to people, and you
mean over the last 50
to
years?
gain entry to that unit,
10 business days.
what notice did you have to give them? 48 hours, correct?
I have 24 hours.
You
I
have
manage
24
manage
rentals.
multiple units. I
So-
own and operate short-term rentals. I manage and operate and own long-term rentals as well. It's a 24-hour notice to the tenant or 24-hour notice to anyone that's staying in the property.
So why would we suggest anything different in this situation?
Because you're not ownership of the unit. You're a
Yeah.
government entity asking,
Correct, and I would agree that, and we're asking to do an inspection.
right? It's
If
not
there was an emergency,
Right, it's not,
it's a different
Yeah.
situation.
ownership and.
Yeah, ownership's, I mean, emergencies are implied.
Right, but we're not, this isn't implying ownership, it's just purely, you know,
Okay, we have an
You're asking to
owner-
inspect.
we
I
have-
would like legals.
We have a self-professed owner of short-term rentals here. What would seem reasonable to you?
I propose 14 calendar days, which would be the same as 10 business days. Either or would work for me. I'd say 14 calendar days for the simple fact that you have property management companies that operate on weekends as well. So you can get some, potentially have somebody in there on a weekend if you wanted to versus just business days.
That's a lot longer than I'd give them.
Understandably so.
well.
But I would
still,
consider that
yeah.
reasonable.
well, omitting the word reasonable.
Understood.
Yeah.
Just leave it as reasonable, so we don't have to spend the rest of the night here.
I still think reasonable, I don't think you should leave on there. I would agree that you should put some time frame on it
Okay.
versus the word reasonable. Because that does leave it open for interpretation, and then if I wanted to extend and say, well, my reasonable is different than yours, and now we're gonna go in front of court, and now I haven't gotten the inspection anyway. And now here we are 2-3 months later and, in front of whoever, and nothing's happened, so. I think you put a time frame on it, and that removes that possibility.
I agree with 14 calendar days.
I would, like legal and or Karen's
Okay.
opinion, personally, but.
I'm sorry, Justin, I didn't hear you.
I would like legal and or our
'Cause if
planners.
you're going through holidays
opinion, recommendation, and then
I can agree with.
if they're on board with the day, then let's throw a date, a time limit on it.
Okay, so can we ask to, can we just give her that, say, well, because then she's gonna come back and say, well, what were you thinking as far as days? Can we tell her that we're looking at
Somewhere
14
between
calendar?
10 and 14.
10 and 14 days?
I mean, he made a lot of good. To review it, or you also want Mark?
I think well, he has to review the entire, the rewrite of this, correct? He hasn't.
Once we get a final
Once
draft,
we
he's
have
gonna
it.
review it again anyways.
Let's go with the 14 calendar.
Okay.
You wanna go with 14
Yes.
calendar days?
Because it eliminates the issue of holidays and what's a business day to the village. And
14 days?
14 calendar days is,
I'll live with it grudgingly.
it's a standing statement. It can't, it's not malleable.
And then our planner, she'll let us know if she's like, no, you're,
Yeah.
you guys
Okay.
are way, way wrong.
We're done discussing the snow.
Well, that line, you got any other ones?
No.
So one thing that did pop up, and for some reason, I think it might have been discussed before, and I can't remember. Page one, last statement, talks about the definition, says 28 consecutive days. You go to page two, investor owned, it says less than 30 consecutive. So now we've got
And then it's
29 days left out there, and then it's back to 28 in the next paragraph.
Okay, so it should be 28, right? Because I think that was what we had last month. I have written in
Somewhere else.
28.
But then still, it's
So, but then
28
now it's-
consecutive, 28 days or less, and then less
Okay,
than 30.
I see what you're saying.
So there's three different, yeah.
Because this one says up to 28 consecutive days.
So you wanna change, that's
Change
the
all
only
the
place.
28.
Just make them all
Yeah,
consistent.
that's the
Yeah.
only place where
The three spots.
So it should be 28 in all of them,
Not to my
or
knowledge.
30?
But here we're
28.
telling them that they have. to do
28
one every 3 years.
consecutive.
Okay.
Yeah, because it does, say okay, so it does
Or
say
just
there,
28
yeah,
days.
28.
Why are we holding them to a different standard?
That's your question.
Because this one says
Oh,
28.
28, no, it says
consecutive.
30,
Well, yeah,
less than 30 consecutive
oh,
days.
less than, okay.
Yeah.
So you just want a dwelling unit offered for rent. Am I
Let's
correct?
go to the definition.
Oh, because this one, the first one says for up to 28 consecutive days.
Yeah.
And then this one says for less than 28 consecutive. I see what you're saying.
It's a little confusing. And then there's the 30-day.
And then it says rented for 28 days or less.
Yeah, you can use the commission.
So it actually should read for 28 days or less. If you want to make it all internally the same, then where the number 30 is, it actually should read for 28 days or less.
And then,
Then you've got, then it's consistent from A to C.
so then on page one, up to 28 consecutive days, just change it all to the same?
Yeah,
Unify the language.
Yes.
Yes.
For,
so it would.
And this is just us defining what we're calling a short-term rental?
Yep.
Okay. And if someone stays longer than that, in that short-term rental, I mean, we don't have any say.
They didn't rent for a day.
No, we're gonna take them out and tar and feather them.
Just wanted to make
Hang
sure
them
that.
from the four corners.
I didn't know if
of
anyone was
a lamp
policing
post.
that, if you will, if somebody's like,
Yeah,
See if
we've
we
got
can
people
get
that go
one of
around
the
and check license plates.
yeah, right, chalk and tires.
Oh, we can't do that, that's against the law.
It is.
What, tarring and feathering?
We'll have to check on that, I don't know if that is or not.
okay, anything else?
I do have a
Anyone else?
question.
Yes.
Number 3, safety and maintenance, STRs must maintain a valid certificate of occupancy and pass property maintenance inspections every 3 years.
Yep.
Does the Village of Romeo currently have an ordinance that inspects rentals in general?
We do not.
Are we,
We do not even have a standard
are
in
we,
place.
is there a reason we're holding them to a different standard than anyone renting their property in general?
That's a very good question. This has been a very good discussion. It's been had, I think, multiple times at the council level also.
Right.
And it was poo-pooed with previous administration, and I don't think council is opposed to implementing across the board.
Justin, I will tell you, in my ghost memory of when I was quite young and first a property owner,
Yes.
which is a long time ago, there was in fact, or is, in the village ordinances, and it may have been lost in copying, an ordinance specifically for the CBD, providing inspections on residential units. And I know specifically the then building inspector resigned, and he said it'd be a cold day in hell when he went around telling people what they could do. I know that because I own property.
Yes.
Now, whether that's been changed in all of the myriad redoings of it, I don't know, but as to the general multiple, no, there's never been one. And should there be? Well, I don't know how many communities actually do.
Several.
Yeah.
It's probably not an unreasonable thing to do, but has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. No, let's not go there.
I am all for that. I would actually propose to increase the frequency of that from 3 years to 2. Every other year, I think, is very fair.
I've never seen anything written for the short-term rental as far as inspections on that basis. I do know municipalities, as far as like apartments and other rentals, it's somewhere between 2 and 5.
Yeah.
And what I've seen quite often.
Most of mine are 2 years. And I would say if this is us setting the bar, I think that's probably a loose number every 3 years. I would say 2. And if there's a way we can get that same proposal in front of wherever it needs to be in front of for every rental in the Village of Romeo, I think that needs to be done.
Well, then you get into enforceability.
Yeah.
The village doesn't have a full-time inspector, any way, shape, or form. So, is the inspector, who's got to look at all this stuff, has to go out there every other year? That's asking a lot of a part-timer.
I mean, the difference to me between short terms and standing rentals is that theoretically short terms are going to be vacant pretty often.
And there's
So
nobody there.
You could line it up when they're empty, but a standing rental is going to have somebody in it almost all the time.
Yeah.
So it's the option of having a vacant space they can walk through versus the option of an occupied space and lining up all the different people's schedules.
This is not part of, this discussion is not part of what's in front of us.
Correct.
That
I would
needs to
just
be-
say my proposal with regards to this would be 2 years versus 3. Doesn't have to stick, I'm just saying increase the frequency. But 3 years, if that's what you guys want, is perfectly fine.
I'm not opposed to a 2-year.
Do they have to reapply?
So is that, initially and then every 2 years?
Yeah, after the first inspection, I would say the frequency becomes every 2 years following, from that first inspection date. Short-term rentals, that's a long time, and a lot of different occupants that could go in and out of that property.
Yeah.
A lot of things can take place in that time period.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm okay with 2 years. It's up to you guys.
I'm fine with it. I don't care. I
So
worry
in order
about
for this
enforcement.
ordinance
That's
to even
all.
go into place, there's gonna have to be a inspection made up and a fee attached. This ordinance holds no weight.
Right. Right.
And that's all, Phil, that's all an interior decision.
Who would be currently inspecting these units?
It would probably be one of our inspectors. It doesn't technically have to be the building inspector. I know a lot of communities will use whatever inspector
Oh, you've
is
got-
on rotation.
You've got fire inspectors that
Yeah,
do it, you got
Well, we don't have, I mean, we could contract.
ordinance enforcement officers.
I was just gonna say, is there any reason we can't contract any local inspection company to do a proper inspection?
I'd say let's just keep it in-house at that point. If we have a standard checklist that they're supposed to hit, you know, if that's GFI smoke detectors,
Yeah, health and safety
handrails,
concerns, yeah.
you know, the standard stuff. I'm pretty sure an inspector that's qualified to inspect any one of the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, or building is gonna be suitable to inspect for,
Couple things.
Right.
yeah.
For multiple. Okay. I just have one other change on here, under number 4, on page 3, under operating standards. Okay, it's number 4. You're on page 3 now, I'm sorry. All right, I'll start over. Page 3, it's number 4, operating standards. C, we've got that, now it says 31 consecutive days in there. It says no single rental agreement may exceed 31 consecutive days. And only one
Days or
agreement.
less, I'd miss that one.
We
Probably another 28.
cross that out, we'll write exceed 28 consecutive days. That's all I had. I think everything else that we had mentioned on there has been,
Well, it does address it there too, I missed that, because we talked about the single rental bill. And see, it also talks about it there being one active rental agreement at a time. I missed that.
no single rental agreement. Only one active rental agreement. Oh, yeah, see?
So that gets you around the word that gets you around the word single, because you can only have one agreement.
Right.
Makes it challenging.
Anything else?
Are we Xing C then? Are you taking
No,
C out?
no.
Just changing 28. There's one 28.
The council sets fees.
Just one question. You've restricted it to 28 days. If they rent it out for 31, does that make it a month to month and doesn't fall under this ordinance?
Then it's not a short-term rental.
It's not short-term rental.
Might be
Right,
long-term
yes,
rental.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we got that
Just
28.
You know, it doesn't take much to make it from a short-term rental and away from this whole ordinance. It's just restricted to month.
But then, if it's a month to month, they can't rent it for a day.
Right.
So then,
Well, they could, they have to pay the whole month, but they only occupy it one day.
and then you can only have one active agreement at a time.
Right.
So is this ordinance officially stating that I, as the owner of the property, cannot short-term rental that property for 45 days?
I don't know.
It'd be, I mean,
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
So we, as the village, are mandating that they have to somehow block that in every platform that they're advertising the market on? It has to be 28 days or fewer?
That's pretty much a standard definition of a short-term rental, is it's less than the 28, 30, whatever, less than a month.
I only say that, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Right now, I have a property, I have a short-term rental in Algonac, and the occupant's staying there for 2 months. But it's still a short-term rental. And I've signed multiple agreements and have about 8 agreements currently signed and deposits taken on future months. And that's all done through VRBO, Airbnb, so on and so forth. So that line, or that letter C, and I'm not arguing, I'm just giving you guys, hey, this is how it works. Like, when I market my property on VRBO and Airbnb, somebody can book it for 6 months. I've had 5-month rentals, and it's still a short-term rental. How do we get around that? And like he said, is it null and void, is all of this null and void if somebody wants to book it longer?
You are paying attention to the fact that
Because
this
there is no ordinance
the
for
only
long-term
place you can do this is in the central business district, the office district, or in the multiple district.
it's basically
Which
very
means that
self-explanatory.
95% of the village is precluded from having a short-term rental. You can't do it on Fairgrove, and you can't do it on Morton, and you can't do it on Bradley. The only place you can do it is on Main Street.
You can do it on part of
Bailey and around the park and.
Part of 32.
Part of it, see.
you know,
Part of multifamily.
this is-
Multiple.
I understand what you're saying. Are you noticing the fact?
Not a lot of opportunities there.
Right. there's
I got
no-
it.
no.
Okay, the limit, the opportunity for this is, you wanna do this on Main Street or over one of the stores. And it's
Yeah.
kind of what
Or around the wax.
we've done here.
Originally, when we first sent this back to council, it just prohibited them
Whole side of town.
all the way across the board.
Got it. Just trying to play catch-up.
I prefer mustard.
So is that all the changes we're trying to send to Ms. Karen?
That was the end of the ordinance, yeah.
Any other changes, concerns, discussion?
That's it for me.
No? Good. All right, we'll send those back to our planner and get those revisions for next month.
Just nice report, thank you.
Okay then. I guess that just,
Make a motion to adjourn?
Just a review recap.
no, I just wanted to, yeah, I'm sorry, it's not an agenda item, it's, we have, it was on the table in front of you, the Village of Romeo, the 2025 planning report. That is her recap of the things that, went on through planning from January to December of last year. Sarah will give us next month her report, which will just have a little more detailed information, so as our recap. So that was it. We don't have to do anything with that. That is yours, just to take home. Okay, now we can, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
7:51.
Jason wants to stay.